This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Diddy now. They're trying to get a bail package together for him. Right now, he is in custody. He got taken from this lavish hotel he was staying at that was about $5,000 to $10,000 per night. He stayed there for about the past 2 weeks, anticipating this indictment coming down because a grand jury was put together to decide whether they were going to indict or not. And spent about a cool $120 on that hotel. I don't know why he's not staying at I'm sure he has a residence in New York. They have been keeping his jet away from him to show that he's not trying to flee. He surrendered his passports to his attorneys. And they're trying to show that he's not a flight risk. So they put this bail package together to hopefully get him some type of bail so he can be somewhat free while he fights this. They write a letter to the judge, and they basically say, Mr. Combs, arrest and indictment charged. They list all the charges. This letter will walk the court through a series of actions taken by Combs over the past 6 months to show he's not a flight risk. First thing the court should know, when it became apparent that to counsel that Mr. Combs at some point would be formally charged, he did something amazing and extraordinary. He left his home in Miami and traveled to New York, the very location prosecutors and agents investigating him. And through counsel, Combs told the government that he had come to New York, offered them specifically where he was going to be staying, and would turn himself in at a scheduled time, right? So he authorizes lawyers to tell the government the name of the location, self-surrender to the government, and the court should consider that he was, trying to work with them. Now, this was not the first action of Combs. They wanted to show his lack of a flight risk. So on before March 25th searches, Mr. Combs with his counsel, fully aware of the United States Attorney of the Southern District of New York, conducting investigation involving allegations concerning racketeering. I always put that in there, right? Racketeering and sex trafficking and other offenses. Knowing for these many months he would be indicted, Mr. Combs has done everything, all set out below, to work with prosecutors in ways that are unusual, if not unprecedented. Now, don't forget, Diddy was dropped by like 2 lawyers before this, so he had to play ball with this lawyer. The lawyer said, hey, I'll represent you, but you got to do this, this, and this. Otherwise, I'm not even interested, because, like, what if you represent Diddy and he flees the country? I mean, it's low chances because he has a whole family here, but, the proposed package was a $50 million bond, co-signed by Sean Combs, his mom, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and 3 adult sons. Secured the equity in the residence at at Star Island. Appraised home value at $48 million. He even paid off the mortgage on this. Now, you're going to wonder why Diddy had a mortgage. There's a lot of tax benefits to having a mortgage. So paid off the remaining mortgage, and then this could be used to secure a bond, and it's free of a mortgage, so the bank won't have any liens on the house or say so. It's just an asset owned outright by Diddy. Secured by the equity of Mr. Combs' mother's home in 450 Alton Road. Put the name of his mom's address. I'm sure it's a very secure high rise. Mr. Combs will travel will be restricted to the Southern District of Florida and Southern District of New York. To attend court, meet with counsel, attend medical appointments, blah, 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 blah. Talk about going to Jersey to go to the airport. Mr. Combs' passport was surrendered April 1st to his counsel, and they also took passports of family members Janice Combs, Chance Combs, Jesse Combs, Delilah Combs, and Love Combs. So a couple of his kids. I'm sure they're not concerned about taking the passports of Justin and his other son because they're kind of age, or they might be getting arrested later on today. We'll see. Mr. Combs has been making efforts to sell his airplane. They informed the government of this. The plane had been located. Let's see. Mr. Combs understands he is not to travel to Los Angeles, where the plane had been located for this week, and the plane is not to be brought to any district in which he is located until it's sold. Now, I think it did. They also home detention with GPS monitoring, all other standard conditions of pretrial supervision. Now, I guess the plane did travel to New York because it's probably a part of NetJets or something. If you own a jet and you join NetJets or one of these jet companies, your jet can be making money while you're not flying it. And to own a private jet of this size is at least $1 million a year just in storage, having a staff, maintenance. Just to put in perspective, a light jet is about $250,000 a year. So Diddy's jet is huge. So it's probably at least $1 million a year just to keep the jet, just to have it. That's not including fuel. And March 25th, search warrants were executed at the residence in Miami and Los Angeles, and he was removed from his plane and searched. Blah blah blah. Council. Okay. Council took possession of Combs' passport. We already talked about that. Okay. I mean, and he won't. He agreed to advise the government on all domestic travel. So I think any trips he was taking, they were advising the government and working with them as they were doing their investigations. So they didn't freak out and arrest him. But they did freak out and arrest him last night because his plane came to Jersey, but it was on a charter. Let's see. They're trying to sell this plane, blah, blah, blah. They have potential buyers. They've agreed to keep the airplane in Los Angeles. Mr. Combs resides in his home in Florida if it's not being chartered. Okay. And Mr. Combs will, he voluntarily relocated, and he will stay in New York after if he gets, released. Though they listed a hotel he could stay at, all that stuff. So, they just break down each thing. I mean, we don't need a breakdown, but I understand the judge has to get, complete scope of things. I think he will make bail. I think he's putting up enough stuff. I think he's putting up enough to make bail. So, we'll see. I'll keep you guys up to date on this, and we'll break down more stuff. Of course, they're going to have press conferences throughout the day and let the public know more information on everything. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace.